The disappearance of FBI's most wanted
Flying in a
16-year-old.
stolen airplane, Colton's mission was to escape the United States into Canada. But as he quickly glanced at the gauges, oh my god, the plane's running out of gas. But he couldn't land at the airport. There'd be federal agents there waiting to arrest his. So he finds a flat patch within the mountains, lines up the plane, puts down the flaps, prays to God, and
Damn. Bro, this nigga thinking he in the GTA lobby. Duh. Actual
now,
photos of
thank
Colton
God he'd
plane
actually
crash.
made it out
Dang.
alive, because Colton didn't have his pilot's license. He'd actually never even flown an airplane, because Colton was 16 years old, stealing over
6 stolen planes. Oh yeah, this nigga a badass motherfucker, bro. Yo, 6 planes. How you even let him get away with the second one?
airplanes while committing 67 felonies in 3 different
67?
countries on the run from the FBI for 3 years. Colton Harris Moore is the most badass.
Bro, so you're telling me this man within the time span of 3 years was able to steal 6 planes? He got away with this?
Kid
Bro,
outlaw I've ever read about.
how?
Hold that seat tight, because it's gonna be a wild ride. Now, Colton Harris Moore was never the cool kid in school. The bullies picked on him, nobody talked to him, and all he wanted was what the
He
other
looked
kids had.
cool ass nigga,
Clean
though.
pair of shoes, a simple haircut, and parents who just gave a But his mom was an alcoholic. His dad never paid the child support. He lived in a trailer park and was forced to scrounge for food. But one day,
That's why. So he had a terrible upbringing. Yo, why do they have those in their hand? Is this allowed?
bullies were picking a
YouTube.
fight with Colton. The new kid in class stands up to all of them. A kid that had just got out of a 2-year sentence from juvenile hall. Harley Iron.
So he was influenced
Yeah,
by
just like Colton.
It's like a
His dad's
GTA
that
lobby,
picture, his mom was a junkie,
story
but
mode,
Harley
bro.
had the trappings of wealthy
Trevor beating,
parents.
Franklin,
a new
bro.
pair of shoes, a laptop, and hell, even an iPod. You see, Harley at the age of 16 had served 2 years for residential burglary. And
Damn.
they were all stolen. Now, Colton had stolen food from the neighbors, but to have everything a kid in the early 2000s would want for free, it was enticing, and Harley was going to teach him. Meeting at the cul-de-sac at midnight, Harley shows him how to pick a lock, find the hidden spare keys, and lays down some basic rules. Don't rob somebody's house if you know who lives there, don't turn on the lights, if you ever get caught or spotted, just run, and never feel guilty. As per Harley's own words, remember, this ain't hurting nobody, everything I've stolen is insured. They'll just reimburse it through their insurance and get something even better.
I ain't gonna lie, this nigga smart as hell. He's smart as hell for that shit. This nigga is a smart ass thief. Cause niggas do not care. If you steal small stuff, they're gonna be like, it was insured. You know what I'm saying? Not small stuff. Small stuff, if you steal it, they're gonna be like, oh my god, I got my shit stolen. You know what I'm saying? Oh my god. But if you steal for I'll tell you, I'm doing terrible examples, but you get what I'm trying to say. If you steal from like a rich nigga ass nigga and he's insured, bro, they're gonna be
His
like,
words
man,
from
I can
someone
just
who's
get
clearly
this
dealt
shit
with an
insured. I'm
insurance
getting it back,
company.
bro.
Breaking into dozens of homes over the courses
about
of
limited
weeks,
edition
Colton's
Rose
thrill was
toy
being
is
able to just eat a
insured.
good meal, play some video
You got
games,
a
and take
Rose
the spare
toy
change you
twin.
found as lunch money. Now, Colton
You
knew
got a
this was bad.
Rose?
Then again, he wasn't hungry anymore, and life was good. But you gotta ask, where
Hey,
were the
bro,
police
I'ma
in all
have to
this
judge
with
you
kids
on that
robbing
one,
dozens
twin.
of homes? Well, the San Juan Islands, where they're from, has extreme wealth division. 1 in 3 homes in the area are vacation homes, meaning that's a lot of empty houses all year round. The perfect place for residential burglary. But for Colton back at home, life was actually getting
I ain't
worse.
gonna lie, I'm gonna take notes on this, bro. Cause like niggas,
Mom is now
these niggas
physically
telling me
addicted
where to
to
steal
alcohol.
shit, bro.
He had tried to check her in the rehab. She said no. He had brought AA handbooks for her.
Is
She
this an
burned
AI
them in
photo?
front of his face, and Child Protective Services were called dozens of times after physical fights broke out between the two. All he
Damn.
wanted was his mom to get her act together. So
I
he
ain't
could
gonna
be a
lie,
normal kid
imagine
and not
fighting
forced
your
to scrounge
mama
for food. But
just so
no.
she can
She would
get
throw him out in the
sober, bro.
streets to survive on his own, and he would set up a tent in the middle of the forest.
I
and
feel
there
bad
you
for
go,
bro.
At the age of 15.
Like this is
Now, as
what
the
led
neighbors
him to
noticed
be
their fridges
the
being
most
raided
wanted,
of
bro.
frozen pizza and tendies, the murmurs of a mysterious boy who only broke in just to eat spread fast across the island. But other neighbors noticed a lot more than just frozen tendies gone missing. At the crack of dawn, the FBI bust down the door at his mom's house. They had a warrant in hand for Colton Harris Moore, and it wasn't for stealing frozen tendies, but for committing identity theft. His mom was shocked. No way it could have been sweet little Colt. He didn't even live at the house anymore.
Identity.
The FBI called BS
Bro
on
did
that
a
search the
big
home.
jump.
Yeah,
He went from
Colt really
food
didn't live
stamps
there.
and food to identity.
Now,
Dang,
tracking the set
twin.
of bloodhounds, they go deep into the woods and come across a tent stuffed at the brim. And as they unzip the door with their pistols drawn out, piles of stuff falls out. We're talking laptops, boxes of jewelry, telescopes, credit cards, driver's licenses, checkbooks, and it all linked back to Colt.
Boy.
But Colt himself was nowhere to be found. Once the trail had gone cold, the feds wrapped it up and called it a day. He was
They
still
couldn't
hiding
find
in the
him?
forest. Now, the next morning, a handwritten note shows up on his mom's
Bro, this man
doorstep.
got a better
Cops
getaway
leave.
than Lester
Everything's on
himself.
lockdown. I'm leaving for Weeachee, won't be back. Cops want to play, huh? Well, it's no little game. It is war. Colt had watched the whole thing go down from far away.
What?
Now, although the sheriffs there locally had no resources to actually catch him, the FBI now would bring in professional manhunters, made multiple warrants for his arrest, and place wanted posters
This is
all
the
over.
first of
And Colt
many
knew-
loot vaults. Yo, this nigga is a G. This nigga is a G, bro. This man got a better heist than Lester himself, bro. I need it, bro. If he ever need a heist done, bro, they may make him a GTA character, bro. Like actually, bro, he need to do the heist missions instead of Lester, bro, cause Lester be taking the cut, bro. He'll take a little bit of the cut, bro, but he'll have us like a lot of bands with.
Knew he couldn't go back home. He was truly on his own. And for a town that didn't have a lot going on, everyone was focused on trying to catch him.
Bro was
Now, he
watching
started
it from
stealing
afar
cars
at
and
that,
boats
like
and
cops
purchased
going after
lockpicks
him,
and
bro.
night vision goggles with the stolen credit cards. He would hide out in the empty homes when the FBI helicopters were overhead. The police had pulled up to several homes he was in the middle of breaking into and managed to escape every time. Homeowners came back
Dang!
to seeing Colt just chilling on their couch, only to vanish out the door the next without a trace. And the local newspaper was listing burglaries by the day for months. So to outrun the FBI with professional
This man is
manhunters
an
for
expert
months at the
ninja,
age of
bro.
15, I'm not gonna condone
Bro,
it,
imagine
but
this
that's
man.
impressive. But if
Imagine this man literally just like did all this and just disappeared and then came back to live a normal humdrum life. Like he's working a 9-to-5, a computer desk job, has a family and everything, and nobody knows.
smart as we think Colt is, he had one nasty habit: leaving the lights on. And when residents noticed the lights on in the one neighbor's house who was gone on vacation, they called the cops. Now, dozens of officers surrounded the home without the sirens and lights. He couldn't run this time, and he had been caught red-handed. Now, at the age of 16, any charges Colton would face would not show up on his record as an adult. Theoretically, he could still turn his life around. And while his mom often made excuses for his criminal behavior, this time, the kid was gonna have to face the music. So Colt pleaded guilty to 3 counts of residential burglary, and with this history of evading the FBI for months at a time, sentenced to 3 years at a maximum
Only
security
3?
juvenile jail. And the entire town could sleep at night.
Only 3?
Now, while in juvenile jail, Colton once again was the weird kid. Kids pushed him around, stole his commissary money, but these weren't just kids this time. They were full-on gang members.
I'm a wigger.
So
That song tough. I'm a wigger. So go figure.
he
Yeah.
isolated himself and filled his days reading about flying airplanes and focused on his schoolwork. His grades got better.
I ain't
He did
gonna
as
lie,
he was
the
told.
art
He had
skills
days
is
reading
going
about
crazy,
flying
bro.
airplanes and
The
focused on
art
his
skills
schoolwork.
is
His grades got
arting right
better.
now.
He did as he was told. He
Man,
planned to get a
that's
college
Picasso.
degree once he got out. And it seemed that with some structure, he was actually going to change for the better. So in 10 months of this good behavior, he was transferred into a fenceless group home. The kid that had outrun the FBI. But now with the freedom to wear the
That
clothes
is
he
so
wanted and
stupid,
be
bro.
around kids who weren't in there for violent assault charges, Colt was flourishing. And although he still had 2 years left in his sentence, it felt like he was given another chance at life. As the guards did their midnight body count, they noticed the window unlocked. The bed was empty. Colton was missing. He had escaped with an hour head start. Now, front page news striking fear into the locals. Residents were furious. The kid they'd spent all of this time trying to catch, and to think that he wouldn't escape. I mean, come on. His mom went to
Bro,
the press and pleaded.
Y'all put him in a fenceless home. He's escaping within an instant. If he escaped the police multiple times before, he's already
to
escaping
turn
that
himself
position,
in, and Colt was left with 2 choices. Now, escaping from juvenile jail could add up to 4 years on top of your sentence. But the
Dang.
police were so desperate to catch him because of the whole goose chase, they publicly said they would only give him an additional 28 days. if he turned himself in. So he'd get out at 19, start his life with nothing on his record, or hide his identity with the warrant out for his arrest for the rest of his life. And as a 17-year-old kid now, with his brain not fully developed, the kid kept running. So with the heat on his mom's house, Colt thought maybe his old friend Harley Ironwing Davidson
Nah,
could
he
give him a
finna
place
rat
to
him
hide
out. He
maybe
finna
get
rat
some
him
help.
out.
But
Oh
soon
God,
he
he
found
finna
out
rat
that
him out.
Harley was now in prison. He had tried to steal a 1,000-pound safe from his mom's church. So with
Yeah, nah, he deserved that shit. I'm not gonna lie, he deserved that shit. Stealing money from a church is insane. Stealing money from a church is insane work, nigga. You gotta be down tremendously, especially a
nowhere to go,
1,000-pound
Colt
safe.
began breaking in the homes, purchasing the lockpicks, the night vision goggles with stolen credit cards, all to make his burglaries even easier. And for 3 months, Colt is breaking into dozens of homes, and the police have no idea where he's at. Until the police were in pursuit of a Mercedes-Benz driving 100 miles an hour down the road. Now, the car veered off in the parking lot, crashed into a tree, and when police pulled up, it looked as if the driver had jumped out of the car while it was moving and ran off into the forest.
Oh, this man
Now,
on
inside the
X
car,
Games
they found
mode.
a
This nigga in
backpack
Mission
filled with
Impossible
the
shit,
stolen
bro.
credit cards, driver's licenses, night vision goggles, and a digital camera that had these photos on it. It was Colton Harris Moore with that goddamn Mona Lisa smile. Soon
Hello?
the image was on wanted posters
Bro, mewing
all
before
over the
mewing
county.
was existing,
now,
bro.
throughout that summer, hundreds of residents called 911 with encounters and sightings of Colt. He even had encounters with the police, but every time he kept getting away. But how was that possible? you
That's
might
what I'm
ask?
saying.
It's estimated that 80% of all burglaries are committed by people on drugs. But Colt, he was sober. Every house he broke into always had the alcohol untouched. He didn't have a car, so they couldn't pull him over. He lived off of the grid. And most importantly, the kid was young and healthy. But as the legend of Colton Harris Moore grew with his Facebook fan page at 15,000 members, the town was on edge. The gun shop sold out of ammos and shotguns, security cameras were placed everywhere, and residents assumed every crime in the town was Colt's fault. I mean, a 17-year-old burglar with...
So they placing charges on this man that he didn't do? I mean, granted, this man's gonna probably have life in prison by the time he done. But, bro, like, they just blaming this nigga for no reason, bro.
Stalking the local airport on the Orcas Islands for days. Colt was hiding out in the forest, watching the takeoffs and landings. He knew when the staff worked, where they would be at, and took action. Before sunrise, he walked up to a brand new Cessna 182 Skyline. He had flown this plane in video games hundreds of times. He had knew roughly how to fly it, maybe even how to start it. He found the keys on the seat, read the owner's manual, rolled the plane out to the runway, and without much thought, started the engine and took off. Now, flying into the mountains, Colton couldn't believe it. That adrenaline burst of actually flying a plane without a license. Now, you may wonder, how was this possible? Wouldn't air traffic control see a random plane that never reported itself and maybe think it's a little suspicious? Well, in America, if you don't cross any restricted flying areas and stay under 18,000 feet, you're free to fly wherever the f you want. But you see, in flying, landing is the hardest part. And once Colt looked at the gas gauge and realized he was almost out because he never checked it before he left, he needed the land now. So he finds a flat patch within the mountains, lines up the plane, prays to God, and the landing gear was destroyed. The propeller was twisted up. And once Colt woke up from being knocked out, he threw up all over the plane.
How did he survive this shit? Bro, this is... I'm not gonna lie. This nigga is the GTA before GTA was GTA, bro. Bro, he is living the most GTA life I've ever seen, bro. This nigga doing the most extreme heists. I needed that nigga during the fucking airplane heist. Not the airplane heist, the prison heist during
After
the first
6
GTA
months
heist
of no
online,
reported
bro.
break-ins or burglaries within the area, locals thought Colt maybe was done, maybe even dead. But his war against the police was still very on. So arriving in the town 6 months later, he gets into a police car, he steals the officer's cell phone, ticket book, breathalyzer, laptop, and his MP-15 assault rifle with the box of rounds. So far, Colt
this nigga just got
was
jacked for
invisible,
all his...
but now he was armed. Who knew what he was capable of?
If he gets backed into a corner because of everything that he's done, you know, if he has a weapon, I wouldn't put it past him to use it.
Now, while some
he's a good kid. He's not gonna do that, you know? He's not gonna murder him.
Sticking it to the cops, living life on his terms. A Robin Hood that didn't give back to the poor, but instead had a fan club selling merch with his face on it. And Colton made sure to give his fans a great show. So on September
This man
8th,
got a
he steals
whole
quarter
fan
of
club.
a
I need a
$1
shirt,
million
bro.
boat
This shirt
and
kinda
heads
tough,
towards the
though.
Friday
I need
Harbor.
a shirt.
There, he stalks the local airport and steals a $1 million airplane. This time, he made sure it was filled with gas and crash lands it all the way back on the Orcas Islands. Now, the police knew he was there on the Orcas Islands, maybe at the airport or the dock. Somehow, he gets through the police barricade, steals a twin-engine boat, goes full speed all the way up towards Canada, and illegally crosses the border. So
Yo,
over the
this
course of
nigga-
the week, he
how
commits
is
some more
he
burglaries,
doing
steals a
all
couple more
this?
cars,
Yo.
and road trips all the way across to Creston, Canada, literally the middle of
How is he doing all this without getting caught?
North
Yo.
America. There, he steals an Escalade and heads down the Bonnevers Ferry in Idaho. Mind you, this is a kid doing all of this. Now,
That's
the one
what I'm
smart thing Colt
saying.
never did was fill his car up with gas at a gas station. You know, they have security cameras, they track the cars. Easily, the police could see where you are probably going. So if a car ran out of gas that Colt stole, he would just leave it there, break into another one, and
Bro,
steal that
how
until
is
got
he
to his next
doing
spot.
all
Pretty
this?
smart kid.
He still
honestly.
hasn't been
A day
caught.
later, he steals another airplane
have
and
no
flies
clue what
all
he's
the
doing.
way
That's
from
the
Idaho
third
back to
one!
Granite Falls, Washington, where he actually lands the plane safely in the middle of the mountains. Now, pretty soon, the local hometown once again had a huge burst in burglaries. He's doing the usual, living in the empty vacation homes, eating stolen tendies, and also bringing a ton of heat. You see, aircraft theft is one of the rarest forms of theft in the world. Now, rumors at the time were that it was some rogue pilot who had stolen the plane to go on a quick trip to impress some girl he was seeing, but they couldn't be any more wrong. It was a kid. Now, even with the police swarming his hometown, Colt starts breaking into grocery stores, stealing thousands of dollars in cash, and leaving footprints with the tagging "See ya."
I ain't gonna lie. This nigga tough as fuck. This nigga is tough as fuck, twin. The fact that he's joking around with
Stealing
the cops
thousands
like
of dollars
this,
in
bro.
cash and
He's
leaving
joking. It's been like how many years? Like 2 years, and he's joking around with the cops like this, leaving footprints. You see what he's doing, bro? You see what he? This nigga is tough. He's tough. This man is tough.
Footprints with the tagging "See ya." Now, he's doing all of this barefoot, and the media christened him with the name the Barefoot Bandit.
A stolen airplane and grocery store burglary, complete with telltale chalk outlines of bare feet, has folks on Washington State's San Juan Islands worried the burglar known as the Barefoot Bandit has returned.
First, I thought it was a joke.
Police think the burglary is the handiwork of Colton Harris Moore. The teen is suspected of stealing airplanes, boats, and luxury cars, and breaking into dozens of homes and businesses in the area.
Yo,
only
he
to
literally
disappear into the
took
woods
what his friend
without a
taught
trace.
him
Now,
and
people
doubled
fell in
it.
love
This
with
man
Colt.
is
He had a huge
tough,
fan base.
bro.
Mind you, it's
OD
2010.
tough, bro.
The recession's still on. Bankers got bailed out. Corporations got billions. The common man was kind of screwed out of all of it. So in rejection of all of that, Colt took life into his own hands and was living life on his own terms, outsmarting not only the police and the DHS and the FBI, but the government itself. Though by now, city officials on the island informed all of the residents that there were now dozens of armed bounty hunters stalking the forest looking for Colt, creeping in their backyards,
Bruh,
searching
that's
the
the
empty
thing.
homes,
I don't
but
be thinking like bounty
Colt was
hunters are
already long
real,
gone.
bro. That just sounds like a fictional
On
thing.
the
I've
morning
never
of May
heard like
30th,
seen a nigga that
2010,
said he
a
was a
letter
bounty
shows
hunter.
up on the front doorstep of an Oregon animal hospital.
Drove by,
Had some extra cash. Please use this money for the care of the animals. Colton Harris Moore.
But it's Robin
aka
Hood ass
the
nigga,
Barefoot
bro.
Bandit. For his legion of Facebook fans, I gotta say, that's a smooth move. I mean, who
Mm-hmm.
could hate a kid that was from a rough home who just loved some animals? But what it really implied was, you can't catch me. Because Colt had stolen a full-on racing boat and drove all the way towards Oregon, where he had talked over the phone with some attorneys about selling the rights to his life story for a potential movie. But people knew the story just
I ain't
couldn't
gonna lie, they
end
need to
well.
make
We're
a
talking
movie
stolen
about this, bro,
planes,
bro.
Stolen guns, stolen boats. So
They need to
another
make a movie
attorney's
about
office
bro.
comes forward and makes a deal with Colt. Now you see, an anonymous donor said that if Colt turns himself in, Colt would get $50,000, and the attorney's office would represent him
nah.
at court all
Hell
free.
nah.
But that deal was to
Hell
expire
nah.
within 5 days. We're talking about a
Hell
fugitive
nah.
collecting his own bounty. Unheard of. But 5 days later, not a word from Colt, and that anonymous donor is still to this day unknown. Now the FBI
Why
is
would
showing
they
up to his
put
mom's
Jeffrey-
house every day, searching the home, warning her that harboring a fugitive, it's a felony. But all she wanted to know was her son even alive? And she would fall deeper into the pit of alcoholism. Now over the course
Wait, why would? Okay, hold on. You didn't worry about your son when he was there. You didn't worry at all. You were more worried about getting a drink. Now, people do have their problems and issues, but your son tried to help you through your problems and issues. But then when you decided to be a dickhead towards him, he decided to turn towards against the law, and now you all of a sudden man, get your
Of a week, he starts stealing several more cars and starts road tripping all the way to Yankton, South Dakota. Now, arriving at midnight, he needed a place to kind of hang out. So he cased out several homes in the area until he found the one with no cars in the driveway. He thought if they weren't home by midnight, they were probably gone on vacation. Hungry and filthy, he puts his clothes in the washer at the house. He heats up the oven and makes some frozen tendies for
Don't
himself.
tell me he finna get
Goes
caught butt booty
upstairs, gives
naked, bro.
himself a haircut with the trimmer he found. He finally hopped in the shower to relax after a long week of road tripping. At 3 a.m., the Clark family had come back from a long vacation. With their eyes half asleep, they headed inside the house with their bags
You joined
ready
back to the
just
best
pass out.
GTA
But
lobby I've
something
ever
was
seen,
off.
bro.
The TV was still on. Jello containers were stacked on the floor. Frozen tendies were heated up.
He
Now,
finna
as
get
the
caught
dad
lacking.
walks into all of the rooms,
finna
he
get caught
notices at
lacking.
the end of the hallway, the bathroom door is slightly open. And as he reaches out to open the door, it slams shut. The dad, a 340-pound dude, muscles the door open until a naked man covered in lotion sprints towards the basement. Now, the dad's chasing.
Nah, ain't no way you... Bro, hold on. Don't tell me that this nigga's finna get tackled and he slips out because he's butt booty naked covered in lotion. Bro, that's gonna be funny
Get
as
out of
fuck.
the house. And by the time he got to the basement with his adrenaline pumping, a red laser pops up on his chest. Colt let it be known that he was armed. Now, the dad locks the basement, runs to the car with his family in sight, breaking the garage door as he's backing out, and heads over to his neighbor's house to call 911. Now, Colt's freaking out. He doesn't know what to do. His clothes were still in the washer. I mean, he's literally trapped in the basement. Minutes later, as the officers
Trapped in the
swarm the
closet.
house on the lookout for a
Damn.
naked man covered in lotion with a
Damn,
gun, there was no way
damn,
on God's green earth
There's no way
Colt's
he's
gonna
gonna get
out of
caught.
this one.
No. There's no way
But
he's
once
gonna
the
get
SWAT
caught.
team bashed in the door and the K-9s were let loose, and after an hour of searching every nook and cranny
Bro,
of that
he's
house,
trapped butt booty naked, bro.
no one was inside. So with the forest close by, bloodhounds and helicopters with thermal cameras,
This nigga's running around butt booty naked, getting away from the cops. Yo, this nigga is the best motherfucking GTA player I have ever seen. He's butt booty naked, getting away from the cops. The cops are getting disrespected. These niggas need to be
They're
fired
searching
immediately.
all over the area. but
Immediately.
Colt had escaped. And this time it was close. Holy. Now you see, Colt had smashed the washer to grab open his clothes, spilling gallons of water into the basement, grabbed his bag, and because he was so skinny, slipped out of the basement window, broke into the neighbor's house, and stole their car keys and dipped out real fast.
What?
After the Clark family was shown a
What?
mugshot of Colin, they confirmed that the naked man with the gun covered in lotion was Colin Harris Moore. Now,
Yo,
while
this
the
nigga's-
FBI
he's
didn't
cut
know
like that.
exactly where
He's
he was
cut like
headed
that.
or where
I'm
he
rooting
was,
for him, bro.
they had a rough
I'm
idea.
rooting for him.
Colt loved to
I
steal
am
in
rooting
small
for him,
areas.
bro.
Now, within the week, Homeland Security held meetings with every private plane owner in all of the surrounding states, warning them of the Barefoot Bandit. They told the pilots to lock their planes, make sure they were safe, don't leave the keys on the seat. And Colt actually
Hell
knew
nah.
about these meetings
Hell
because he
nah.
had saw Homeland Security going around. Now, for a week, Colton was waiting out in the forest near the Monroe County Airport. You know, reading the magazines he took, surviving off the
Okay.
food he stole, and he was waiting to find the perfect plane to escape the country. Now, Colt knew his limits. He would only steal planes that he had flown in video games, which is insane to think about.
That's
and
what
on
I'm
the 4th
saying.
of July, that moment happened. During the sunrise, Colt snuck into the hangar and rolled out a brand new Cessna 400, about a $700,000 plane, with the keys
Damn,
on
be
the seat. He made sure to
pricey.
fill it up with gas, went through the pilot's checklist, started the engine, took off in the plane, and headed down south. Happy 4th of July. Now, doing
I
the
ain't gonna
math,
lie.
the Cessna 400
He is smart as shit for that. Sunrise, sunset. Wait, what's the sunrise? Sunrise, sunset. Literally, it's the 4th of July. Everybody's out getting fireworks and doing whatever. Getting ready for the 4th of July. That is the perfect opportunity to take a plane and dip out of the country. Perfect.
should be able to go all the way to Cuba on one tank of gas, if there was no crazy winds. Now, Cuba's got its benefits. There's no extradition treaty, and even though Colt didn't speak Spanish, he'd figure it out. But instead of Cuba, he had actually flown towards the Bermuda Triangle.
Oh.
And of course, started to run out of gas and needed to land ASAP. Now, flying over water is dangerous. There is no emergency landing, but luckily, Colt was near some islands. So in between the sand and the palm trees, he finds a patch of land, lines up the planes, puts down the flaps, prays to God, and he lands As the wheels touched the ground, they got stuck in the wet sand, absolutely destroying the aircraft.
Damn.
And it would set off the emergency locator transmitter.
Oh.
He managed to keep it level somehow. As you can see, the
Oh yeah,
nose
he's
is
cooked.
in the
He
grass.
might be cooked.
He got out of that plane reportedly uninjured and headed into the island.
Because
Okay,
within seconds,
this is his, what, 4th, 5th plane that he's stolen? This nigga has crash landed all of them and still has not been injured? This man is invincible.
it had sent
He's
a
invincible.
SOS
This
signal
man is
to the
invincible.
U.S. Coast Guards via GPS, and Colt knew he needed to get the hell out of there. Now, when the U.S. Coast Guard received the signal, they contacted the owner of the Cessna 400, Mr. Miller, to see if they actually needed the help in the Bahamas. Was it real? Was it a false
Uninjured,
alarm?
bro.
Now, imagine
He
yourself owning a
literally
$700,000
he's
plane
invincible,
in
bro.
Indiana. But today, it's the 4th of July, you're relaxing. But you get a call from the U.S. Coast Guards about your plane crashing in the Bahamas. You would be freaked out. Now, this came as a shock
I'd be
because
pissed,
remember
bro.
when Homeland
'Cause, like,
Security held
fireworks
those
going off
meetings
and
with all
everything,
the
you just
private
get a
plane
phone call.
owners warning
Huh?
you about this kid's
My
plane?
plane
Well,
crashed?
the owner of that
For
plane,
what?
Mr.
For
Miller,
what?
wasn't there. And after the staff at the hangar confirmed the Cessna 400 wasn't there anymore, the U.S. Coast Guard and Bahamian Defense Force were told the craft was stolen. And most likely, it was Colton Harris Moore in the 5th plane he had stolen. Now, within minutes of the crash landing, Colton walked barefoot into the jungle and towards
Reverse
the
curse
first
taking
site
gas.
of
Bro,
civilization.
I'm
Now,
saying.
he'd actually picked a really good time to come to the Bahamas. It was 4th of July weekend. Tourists are everywhere. So, a random white kid in the city, it makes sense.
Ooh, then he can get away with the white folk. Oh, bro. Oh my God. This. Yo. This nigga's actually. Yo. This nigga has the luck of God. Yo. This nigga put all his stats into luck. There is no way he got this lucky. He got this lucky. He's uninjured in every single plane crash. Reverse curse technique having ass. Then every plane that he's stolen has either had the keys on him or just is unlocked. He got away from that basement because he flooded the. Bro, this luckiest man alive. Lucky.
So as Colt
and
broke
then
into
now
some
it's
cars
the
and some
Bahamas.
homes, he had
He's
survived
literally-
squatting in the
white people are literally on vacation in the Bahamas. He can get away with the white crowd, go on a cruise somewhere else, or literally just roam around with the white folks. And then he's good. He's good. It's no bunny
vacation
heaven
homes
ad, bro.
plastered all across the island. But as the week went on, the military locked down all of the airports. Police were brought in from other islands, and wanted posters were placed all across of Colt's face.
Bahamas police have been searching for the fugitive for days since his stolen plane was found ditched offshore, but he'd been staying a step ahead of
He's
the
gone.
manhunt.
He's
Cole
gone.
Curry said Harris Moore had a beer in his bar Tuesday night.
He just looked like an average guy. Just came in to get a drink. He didn't really look like no one terrifying to look at.
Still, the FBI's wanted poster warns Harris Moore could be dangerous. Bahamas police have promised to intensify their hunt
Is he
for
still
him.
at the gun,
The
bro?
island was
What's
small.
snow buddy heaven,
But
bro? I
where
gotta
else
go
could
to
he
the
go?
Bahamas, twin. That's where all the
In
snow
the
buddies
island
be,
hop
bro.
away, it
I'm
was
a
the
milkman,
party on
bro.
the bluff.
Very
Music
much milk.
blasting, tiki torches, cheap liquor, tourists partying all on the harbor. But from the ocean, a boat glides in towards the dock, and a white boy yells, "Did you hear about the plane I crashed?" Music cuts, and a
Hear me
local
out
replies,
channel.
"Who are you?"
I'll be saving the
Colton
Hear Me
Harris.
Out channel for the
Colton
next
Harris
stream,
was
bro.
the kid from the wanted posters, armed and dangerous, stolen planes all over the world. But the local just played it cool. He asked Colt why he was so far from
But
home.
you can go
Too
ahead
many
and send
cops.
them, bro.
So, where are your cops? Then the local replied, "Well, we don't really have that many cops. We'll call them. I'm bored. I want to get chased." And as the man thought it was a joke, he started laughing.
Oh my God, he's cut like that, bro. He is cut like that. He pulls up, says, "Hey, nigga, I'm bored. Call your cops, nigga. I want to get chased. Like, I just want to get chased. Like, I know I'm a wanted person, bro. Call them niggas up. Call them. Call them. I don't care. Call them. I want to get chased right now. Call them."
laughing. "Call the cops. I want to get chased for real. Call them." And as the local pulled out his phone, Colt started up his engine and screamed, "I'm gone. Read about me on the internet," and took off towards the bay. And all the locals could think
Nigga said,
was,
"Hey,
"What the
read about me,
was that?"
folk. Read about me."
Now, as Colt was flying across the bay towards the light over at the harbor island filled with hotels and docks, it was the perfect place to go to hide out from the cops, and also maybe to find a better boat. Colt grabbed his pistol, a bag, and sprinted towards the hotel. But then a security guard starts chasing after him. But once the guard saw that pistol, he backed off, realizing he didn't get paid that much. But the guard would call the cops, and he would go back to Colt's boat and made sure to take the keys so Colt couldn't get away. So that call went out to everyone on the island. The police, security guards, armed citizens were searching. Even the military was looking.
Even the citizens are on it.
So with the weapons drawn, search teams are combing
citizens
the
are on
next
his
few hours.
ass
Police
too,
are patrolling
bro.
all of the harbors. There was no way Colt was gonna get out. At 3:30 a.m., one of the officers walked off of the dock to go to the bathroom. And as he's doing his business, he heard a man run outside, jump in a boat, and take off. God damn it, it was Colt hiding in the bushes, waiting for that perfect moment the entire time. Officers with machine guns and police boats started chasing him out of the bay, but there was no way to actually catch him because the boat that Colt had stolen was fully capable of outrunning the cops, and even better, had a full tank of gas.
Yo,
See, while the ocean
this
was
man
quiet,
is
the roar
having
of
the
engines
most
could be heard all across the island.
GTA
And as Colt looked back,
escapes
watching
ever,
the police
bro.
lights fade into the horizon, he couldn't help but smirk. But just as the boat starts losing speed, he'd realized he had just hit a sandbar and had beached the boat. He gives it more
Damn.
gas, but it only dug him in even deeper. You
Damn,
see, when
damn,
Colt
damn,
was
damn,
looking
damn,
at the
damn,
cops,
damn,
he had missed
damn.
the boat's GPS warning of the upcoming sandbar, and now he was stuck. His 2-year-long run comes down to this, and honestly, he froze and held his gun to his head. Now, for minutes with the officers, he refused to put his hands up until Colt fired one shot at the officers and gassed up the boat, hoping to make some last escape. But the police would pepper the side of his boat with 20 rounds all throughout the boat's hull. As the smoke cleared, Colt rose his hands and he was placed in the handcuffs.
No!
Now, what's insane is that
No, bruh, no! I was rooting for this man to get, I was rooting for this man to escape to, Africa or something, bro. No!
Kenyan police actually captured Colt without anyone getting killed. That wouldn't happen in the US, let's be honest. Now, Colt was wanted by the FBI, the US Marshals, dozens of police departments, Homeland Security, Canadian Mounties, and the Bahamian government, and they all wanted him to pay for his crimes. But the Bahamian government had their first pick, and man, were they proud of him.
Flamingo
Parading
has
Colt
shackles,
around
bro.
in that perp walk, and with 5 burglaries, 3 boat thefts, possession of a loaded firearm, firing at an officer.
Bro,
that's
they got
probably gonna
him
get you a
walking
decade
around,
at the infamous Bahamian
literally.
Fox Hill prison.
Oh, yeah,
Considered one of the worst
he gonna be treated
prisons
like a
in
slave,
the
bro.
world.
Yeah.
But they only had one charge for Colt, and that was not presenting his passport when he entered the country.
This nigga might be getting away with this shit, bro. The fact that that's the only charge that this nigga has, yo.
Colton Harris Moore was
Wait a
captured
minute.
Sunday in
He
the
might be
Bahamas
taking a
after
dub.
high-speed
He
boat
might be
chase
taking
with
a dub.
authorities. He was fined $300, which the U.S. Embassy paid and sent back to the U.S.
Police officials
Ah.
truckling, so he got a slap on the wrist basically, so I don't think he's too worried about it. I think he's got some more problems waiting for him in the States though.
Now, American prosecutors had to wrangle
Free him.
67 felonies
Free him,
in
bro.
3 different countries and wrap it up all into one court case. And honestly,
I
he's
ain't gonna
looking
lie.
about
How do
20
you even defend, bro? I ain't gonna lie. How do you defend, bro? Because he obviously did all that shit. You can't
30
defend him.
years in prison. Now, Colton had hired one of the most infamous attorneys in the game. The guy that you call when the evidence is stacked against you. John
Wait a
Henry
minute.
Brown. Never heard of it? Ted Bundy's attorney.
Oh.
Now, they had calculated the restitution for the planes, the cars, the homes, the search operations at a staggering $1.4 million that Colt was gonna pay. Now, remember that whole movie deal he was trying to set up, selling his life story? Well, the courts mandated that to pay back all of the victims, he was going to sell the rights to his life story.
Bro, he should
for
get no
potential
time,
movie to
bro.
Fox
He should get no
Entertainment for
time.
$1
No
million.
time, bro.
And then
No
let's say
time,
that the victims
bro.
are paid back
No
in full
time,
one day,
bro. No
he
time.
still could never make money from anything about his life story. We're talking books, t-shirts, video games, anything. And while this may seem harsh, the courts wanted it to be known that crime doesn't pay. Now, Attorney Brown's specialty isn't defending the crimes, but rather why they happen. Now, they showed that Colt's home life really was that bad. His
Wait
mom
a minute.
never fed him, his dad never paid the child support, his mom drank during her pregnancy and diagnosed with fetal alcohol syndrome, and Colt said he was going to go to college after this, and he was going to get his life together. And the court felt sympathy for Colt, including the judge, stating,
he might get a plea deal. He might get a plea deal. He might get a plea deal. Twin, cause like literally it was his home life. That was the reason why, bro. He might get a plea deal. He might get a plea deal,
but
bro.
also a triumph of human spirit. I sympathize with the defendant for his terrible upbringing that he had. It was a tragedy he had to steal food, to endure an alcoholic and abusive mother. But nevertheless, the sentence is 6 years. I wish him well.
Wait, is he out?
Now, a decade later,
When was
out
that?
of prison, we don't know much about Colt.
He's out. This nigga's out. He got the fucking ass cut, but this nigga's out. I ain't gonna lie. This nigga's forehead is worse than mine. The nigga's out. I gotta beat this
What he's
nigga, bro.
up to today.
I gotta beat this
Now,
nigga,
from
bro.
the few interviews
he's out.
he's given,
He's
he spoke
out.
about hating the...
Bro, he's out. He's fucking out. Oh my God, he's out. He's
moniker
out.
the Barefoot Bandit, and he wishes to move on from that. And now, I actually contacted Colt to honestly hear his side of the story. What has he been up to? What is he doing? But I got no response. I called him, emailed him, even visited him in Washington. Friends say that he changed his number and he went off of the grid, and
Really?
who knows where he's really at.
No. I gotta see how. Hold on, bro. Hold on. Colton Harris Moore, American former criminal. Hold on. What does he look like now? What does he look like now? What do we got like current pictures, bro? 2024. Hold on. What happened to Colton Harris Moore? Bro, that's it. That's all we know. Bro, no. I mean, he out, but like, good job he got free. But like, bro, he owned his own plane or something, bro. Hey, bro, I ain't gonna lie. I was rooting for bro the whole time, bro. Barefoot Bandit, bro. He was called the Barefoot Bandit because literally, tough. It was tough, by the way. He literally robbed the stores and stuff barefooted, and then he like drew big ass footsteps and footprints and was like, "See ya." Hard, bro. Hey, that nigga was tough, bro.